All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a complete end-to-end playbook for the modern financial lifestyle. We're going to explore exactly how everyday people are generating highly efficient wealth right now, and honestly, perhaps more importantly, the strict defensive strategies you need to protect it once it finally hits your bank account. Because really, it's about a vital mix of both worlds, right? The easy, automated wealth creation and the absolute fortress required for preservation.
So think about this for a second. What is the laziest way to build wealth, but the absolute smartest way to keep it? It's kind of a provocative question. Today, we're laying out a roadmap that covers both of those extremes, that rapid acceleration into unprecedented digital wealth, and then the heavy brakes you absolutely need to apply so it doesn't just slip right through your fingers.
Look, we've all seen the massive shift over the last few years. The old way of building wealth? It meant grinding 80 hours a week, tying up your life savings in physical inventory, and taking on just massive risk to get a business off the ground. The new way is all about leverage. By stripping away traditional barriers and leaning heavily into AI, everyday individuals can literally wield the exact same leverage that used to be reserved entirely for multi-billion-dollar corporations.
Now, to really grasp this, we kind of need to completely redefine the word lazy. In this context, being lazy definitely doesn't mean sitting on the couch binging TV. The most successful people aren't idle. They are just ruthlessly efficient. They're smart. They relentlessly utilize every single competitive advantage they can find. They aren't looking for the hardest path. They are looking for the smartest path, the one with the most outsized returns for the absolute least amount of manual friction.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. First, the new wealth paradigm. Second, the lazy business model. Third, building digital products. Fourth, we'll hit a major pitfall called the sudden wealth curse. And finally, number 5, the rules for keeping it.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the new wealth paradigm.
You don't make money because AI exists. You make money by picking a vehicle that leverages AI. This is a fundamental truth we have to grasp right out of the gate. AI isn't some magic button that just prints cash the second you open an app. Think of it like a Formula One engine. If I drop that massive engine into a broken-down, rusty old car, well, you still aren't going to win the race. AI is an incredibly powerful engine, for sure, but it absolutely requires the right business model to actually generate cash.
Which brings us to Section 2, the lazy business model.
You know why so many people fail online? It's what we call a model mismatch. They try these advanced, capital-intensive businesses way before they're actually ready for them. When you compare traditional online ventures to digital products 2.0, the difference is just staggering. Dropshipping? High risk because of massive ad spend and fading trends. Building software? Super scalable, but incredibly complex and expensive. But AI-generated digital products, like highly specialized courses or templates, they hit that perfect lazy criteria. They offer high scalability, insanely low risk, and massive reward, simply because you build the asset once and you sell it infinitely.
Think of traditional business like a giant spinning roulette wheel, where every single spin costs your entire life savings. Terrifying, right? You're totally paralyzed by the fear of failure. But creating digital products with AI flips the whole game. It costs essentially nothing. It's like getting unlimited free spins. You create a product, test it, and if it fails, you lose what? A few hours? You just spin again. You could fail 20 times in a row, but you only need to land on green once to completely change your life.
Let's move into Section 3, building digital products.
So, what is the actual tactical blueprint for building these digital assets from scratch? It really just comes down to a simple 3-step creation engine. Step 1, identify a third-layer niche. Step 2, synthesize your information using AI. And Step 3, productize and distribute. Let's break down exactly how this works in practice.
Step 1 is completely avoiding the trap of oversaturated broad markets. You have to go 3 layers deep. Instead of making a generic product about productivity, you target reducing screen time for self-employed architects. Instead of just fitness, you target resolving knee pain for marathoners over 50. Why? Because the deeper you go into these specific layers, the more the competition drops to basically zero. And more importantly, that specific audience is incredibly desperate for an exact solution to their very specific problem.
Step 2 is synthesis. And listen, trying to build a premium product with a basic, generic AI prompt is, well, actually, it's exactly like trying to cut fine sashimi with a butter knife. It's going to be a total mess, and no one is going to buy it. You need a sharp chef's knife.
That means using specialized AI tools built for exact jobs, like 11 Labs for ultra-realistic voice generation or Synthesia for video courses. You act as the director giving the unique angle, and you let these specialized tools do the heavy lifting of synthesizing it all into a professional product.
Finally, step 3 is distribution. And the absolute game changer here is influencer arbitrage. You don't even need to spend years building your own audience. You just find micro-influencers who already have highly dedicated followers but have absolutely no idea how to monetize them. You offer them a partnership. They promote your digital product to their pre-sold audience, and you simply split the profits. You get instant distribution, they get instant monetization. It is a perfect win-win.
Okay, hard pivot here. Section 4, the sudden wealth curse.
Let's say the system works. Your product hits, the arbitrage works, the cash comes flooding in. Boom! Once you hit that green slice on the wheel, you're going to face a very real, very terrifying new problem. I want this number to really sink in. 70%. Statistically, over 70% of people who experience a massive, sudden windfall of cash are completely broke again within 3 to 5 years. Why? Because they've never had money, their identity hasn't adjusted to it yet, and that urge to spend it immediately is just overwhelming.
The stark reality is, making the money, that's only half the battle. Building wealth and keeping wealth require two completely different skill sets. The natural instinct to show off, buy the luxury cars, validate your success to everyone you went to high school with, that is exactly what destroys generational wealth. If you don't implement a strict defensive plan for what happens the day after the money hits your account, that sudden wealth will quickly become a curse rather than a blessing.
So let's lock it down. Section 5, rules for keeping it.
Here is your immediate defensive playbook. Phase 1 is preservation. First rule, keep your mouth shut. Do not broadcast your new wealth to everyone you know. Second, pay off your existing debt. It's the only immediate expense you should take on to free up future cash flow. Third, do not rage quit your day job immediately. A sudden lack of routine breeds extreme impulsive spending. And fourth, put the money away and let it sit for 6 months. This vital cooling off period prevents emotion-driven bankruptcies while your brain basically catches up to your bank account. After those first 6 months, we enter Phase 2, long-term preservation. This takes incredibly strict personal boundaries. Do not invest in your friends' business ideas or lend them money. It almost always ends in lost capital and ruined relationships. Also, resist the urge to start some complex brick-and-mortar business just because you feel rich. The failure rates there are staggering. Instead, invest in your physical health and protect that core capital from future generations by setting up structured trusts. That way, your kids are provided for without ever actually touching the core capital.
And this brings us to the ultimate mathematical rule for legacy wealth, the 5% rule. If invested wisely, your windfall generates an annual return. The entire goal of wealth preservation is to live strictly off that return, historically modeled around 5%. You skim the profits off the top to fund your lifestyle, but you leave the principal amount completely untouched. If you do this right, the core wealth stretches out to infinity. It literally never depletes.
Think of this wealth like a massive money tree. As long as you take care of it, it's going to bear fruit every single year, and you can live beautifully off that fruit. But whatever you do, don't chop the tree down for temporary firewood just because you want a bigger bonfire today. That is the true secret to legacy wealth. You eat the fruit, but you relentlessly protect the tree.
All right, we've covered the whole life cycle. You now possess that perfect mix of both worlds, the highly efficient blueprint to build wealth lazily using AI, and the strict defensive rules to preserve it once it's yours. So I'll leave you with this. Now that you have the exact roadmap, what is stopping you from taking your first spin of the wheel? The old barriers are completely gone. The tools are just waiting for you. It's time to start building. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.